Hi, I'm Ryan Brandenburg from Barletta Boat Company. I'm the Southeast Regional Sales Manager, and today we're going to talk a little bit about trimming your boat and what it accomplishes and why to use your trim. Especially now in this environment, we've seen a lot of new boaters, and trim, a lot of people, I've actually had the comment made to me that the trim button is used to get the motor up when you're in shallow water. Absolutely a truth to that, but it's also meant to really make your boat perform and get the optimal performance and comfort out of your boat. There's two things that I like to tell people the trim is actually used for. First of all, trim is the up and down button on your throttle. There'll be an up and down button on your throttle, and what trim technically is the motor sits like this on the back of your transom, and when you trim up, which is out, it moves the prop out away from the boat, and what that does is push the stern down and brings the bow up. Okay, you trim in or down, and it's going to bring the stern up and the bow down. So every boat has an optimal angle that it performs at. When I say angle, that means when the boat's going across the water, an optimal angle that it should be driving at. You want the bow up slightly, and anybody who's been on a boat knows and can feel it when it's performing optimally. So again, the trim is meant for optimal speed, fuel conservation, all that kind of stuff. But it's also for comfort. It makes the boat not bounce or plow through the water on a rough day. So what we want to talk about is how to get your boat trimmed out optimally for that comfort and performance. Again, the trim is your up-down button here on your throttle. You're going to have gauges that will show you a trim level on every class of boat. On the L class, it's going to be a digital. You can also use it here. I always put it on my Simrad. You can put your trim there with Mercury, Yamaha, and it'll show you your trim there, and it shows you a percentage. But a lot of the trim and using the trim is also based off of feel. Okay, and I'll show you a few of the things that we want to talk about to see if you're optimally either feel it or visually or hear it. There's three ways you can easily see it. As I start trimming up, you'll hear the engine. You can hear it making a noise, a little whining noise. Okay, up or down. So you know when you're trimmed up or trimming down, you can hear it. The other thing what we'll talk about is as you accelerate, watching the wake. Okay, you'll see the spray start up near the front of the boat as I take off, and then once we get over that first initial bow wake, and as I trim up, you'll see the wake start to move back. You want the bow of the boat out of the water. It gives you less drag, better fuel economy, and it's a more comfort ride because you're up on top of that water and you're letting the boat do what it's supposed to do. Okay, so what we'll do is Tony here is going to jump in. He'll start driving, and as he's accelerating, as he's trimming, you'll see and we'll show you videos of what you're looking for, listening for, and feeling on the boat. All right, so we talked about different ways to know if you're trimmed properly. You can see it, you can feel it as you're driving the boat, or you're riding in a boat, but you can also hear it. Tony, if he trims up, you can listen to it whine as it goes up. It's a whining sound. Keep trimming up, that's good. Okay, so now when he trims down, trim all the way down, Tony. See how it changed there? The sound changed. As it got to the bottom, it changed. The pitch sound had changed. Now you know you're trimmed all the way down. It's a great idea to trim down just to hear it. See that pitch? Now trim up. Different sound, right? Okay, so you know you're trimmed all the way down when you hear that higher pitch on the trim. The other thing is people get worried about trimming up too much, right? Because if you trim the boat up too much, you'll start doing this. And that's not comfortable. It's called porpoising, okay? And what that means is you've brought the stern down so far that you'll start bouncing. If you try to accelerate your boat out of the hole, if you're sitting flat like this and Tony had it trimmed way up, your boat will actually dig down immediately, okay? You don't want that, especially in shallow water. You're gonna bottom out the bottom of your boat. So one of the rules of thumbs is if you trim this all the way up, you would hear the motor start, the engine start making a different sound. That means it's actually sucking air into the engine. That's not good. Performance is bad and can actually burn up your engine. So one of the things that we always look for, and you don't have to do this as you're driving fast, obviously, but one thing you're always looking for is this little water right here. That means if there's not water coming out of there, that means your engine's sucking up air or it's clogged, one or the other. But that's another issue. And also the sound. if Tony were to trim this all the way up to the point where it comes out, take it out of the water and then put it right back down. See, hear it? Now put it back down. Okay, that is not good. And if you trim too high, you'll hear that sound. That's not good. So you want to watch it, use your gauges, but it's also a feel, a hear, and a see thing on how to trim your boat. And the best advice that I can give you as a boater is go out on a nice day. Look, there's nobody around here. Go out and just play with it. Understand your boat, feel your boat. This is meant to be fun, but we also want you to use it the proper way. So that's the best advice I can give you. The other thing too is talk to your dealers, have them go out with you, show you, make you feel comfortable. The more comfortable you are trimming your boat properly and using your boat, the more fun it will be for you and your family. All right, so Tony Fennick here, he's gonna drive for me as I explained to you. So we're sitting here flat, 0 miles per hour, not moving at all. My trim gauges right here say 0, okay? Or as low as they'll do. The Mercury and Yamaha will actually self-calibrate the Simrad will. So what you're looking for, the biggest key here, and it's an easy step, is whenever you start your boat at 0 miles per hour, just hold the trim tab down. Just hold the trim button down. You'll hear it whine out, and you can actually hear the engines as they're going down. They'll go psss, and then the pitch will change. You'll feel it sort of hit the bottom, and that's a limiter, okay? So whenever you start accelerating your boat, you want the trim all the way down or in, as we say. Remember, I told you, the engine right now is sitting like this, so it's all the way in and down, okay? So as Tony accelerates here, slowly, okay, he starts to accelerate, speed up, get to about 15 miles per hour. So now we're at about 15 miles per hour, okay? And you can hear it over here. You can see the wave right here. See where as Tony trims up, so as he starts to trim up, you'll see this line move back the boat, okay? And what we want you to see, and this is what I talked about, when you're trimming your boat, there's 3 things. You're listening, you're hearing, and you're feeling, okay? As he accelerates and he starts trimming up slowly, I always say like 1 second burst on the trim. As you can see now, start trimming up more and accelerating. This wave starts moving back. And what that means is the bow of the boat's coming up out of the water. And as you can see, we're not rocking, we're not bouncing up and down or anything like that. And what that's doing, you look now, look how the trim's changed. Okay, so it's all the way back. And as he trimmed up and accelerated more, it would actually move further back. What's happening is he's trimming out, which is pushing the back of the boat down, okay? And we're moving the bow of the boat up. Slow down. Trim down. So now as you trim down, or as you slow down, you can trim down, okay? You don't have to, but you can. And what we're trying to do is at every speed, okay, whether you're going 10 miles per hour, 20 miles per hour, 30 miles per hour, 40 miles per hour, there's an optimal trim, okay? You will see and feel that. As you're accelerating, what I tell a lot of people to do is just play with it a little bit. On a smooth day like this, look, there's no waves, nothing. It's be a perfect day to try it. What I would tell Tony to do if he's a new boater is I would tell him to put the trim all the way down, accelerate all the way to the boat maxes out speed. And then what I'd tell him to do is start holding the trim down and watching that washout on the side. And as that washout moves down, he will actually feel the boat accelerate and his RPMs will actually go up. When you hit optimal speed without touching the throttle or optimal trim at any speed, your RPMs will go up and your speed will go up. I tell customers it's like feeling the boat sort of lift off, okay? So the boat's sort of plowing a little bit, you're in that wave a little bit, and as you trim up, all of a sudden you'll feel the boat just sort of lift up and accelerate. Not touching the throttle at all. It'll just accelerate, and that means you're at the optimal trim. Again, what that's doing is giving the smoothest ride because you're getting the bow up out of the waves, or chop, whatever it might be. You're also getting the best fuel economy at that point, okay? That means that engine's running as happy as it can be, okay? You don't want a mad engine, you want a happy engine.